Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commbox Live, where the game lives on, it never dies. We've got a 4-person panel over here today. I'm Baram Kazi, who you can find at DefMango on Twitter. Underneath me is Rob Barron, who you can find at Moso Judge on Twitter. Then we've got Varun Alvaconda, our good mate and colleague, who you can find nowhere. And then Jared Kimber, who you can find absolutely everywhere. A bit of a shit day for cricket. Not so much, exciting stuff and no close contests as such. How do you guys feel?
It just feels like all of them, doesn't it? Where after all the nonsense, as always, we just end up with another fucking shithouse game.
Yep.
And I think, I don't know how Pakistani fans feel, but I just think for anyone who's a neutral, it's just like, can we just get some games that aren't shit in this contest?
Yeah.
You guys fucking rabbit on about them all the fucking time, and we all fucking watch them because of it, and then we just get Tilak Varma bowling the 13th fucking over. Like, is that what we wanted? Is that $1 billion contest? Tilak Varma bowling?
I mean, it did start off with a banger with Salman Aga bowling himself in the first over and getting Abhishek.
Yeah.
It just went down.
I mean, it was a really surprising start. Even before that first over, though, I was a bit shocked at the decision at the toss. Salman Ali Agha is really good at winning tosses. Pakistan won, and everyone thought that, okay, you know what? Any other game, any other surface, you'd probably want to bowl first, get a few 3 or 4 power play wickets, and get India under pressure, or put India under pressure. But this was a Premadasa track where 6 hitting would, in theory, be difficult. Slow pitch, which would progressively get slower as the game goes on, and Salman Ali Agha opts to field first, knowing that Pakistan is Panikistan when they chase anything. We know this from the Netherlands game as well. So, really shocking decision over there for me.
Bat first, pitch was going to wear. It was going to get tired. Everyone thought that. Yeah, I mean, it didn't really, but everyone thought that that's what was going to happen.
It did the opposite, didn't it? It actually it actually spun less in the second innings, weirdly enough. So
I mean, India didn't have to do anything in the second innings to win that game. They just needed to bowl balls. Like, we all knew what was going to happen.
What's the in the old video games where you do autocomplete innings? That's kind of what India did. Right? They're like, they had fun batting, simulate. That's it. They just pressed the button and it just it just allowed it to win the game with their bowling.
Yeah, I would have quite recently, didn't it, that game? But I've completely forgotten it. The second innings.
Yeah, a very forgettable game. I suppose even for neutrals and Pakistan fans, of course. Weirdly enough, I was talking to people over here and they were feeling confident. I was like, dude, I've given them like a 15% chance if things go their way. And even though they win the toss, they made sure that things don't go their way. And Varun kept pointing out to us in the group that at the Premadasa, you want to bowl slow as a spinner. Abrar is bowling darts. He gets taken apart for 38 runs in 3 overs. Shadab bowls 1 over, gets taken down for 17 runs. And I mean, Shaheen was terrible too, right? Those 3 combine for 1 wicket and 86 runs in 6 overs. I mean, that's the game done right there.
Well, I know how Rob feels about this, but it is actually incredible that we did see Shaheen bowl again, isn't it? I was just going through the game. I was just doing a video for the channel as well, and I was like, surely after that first over, they just went, we don't need spin. We don't need seam anymore. Let's just roll with this. They've got 93 spin options, even though they've only got 11 players in the team, right? Like, one day the keeper's just going to take the gloves off, right, and come in and bowl 2 overs of left arm finger spin. Like, it's bound to happen. And then they were like, I know, we'll get to the end. And we've just had a great over from Usman Tariq. What can we do? Let's go in with another over of pace. I think they mucked that up, right? And maybe they got spooked by the fact that Abrar Ahmed got hit in the 18th over. I still think I would have gone another over of spin. So,
any spin. I said it before it happened. Whatever you do, don't give the ball back to him. He's been crap for ages. He was a disgrace in the Big Bash and got, binned off for no balling, didn't he? Then he hobbled off. Like, he was going up 15 and over in that competition, bowling against idiots. And then he played in this. He's been rubbish the whole tournament. Shouldn't have bowled the second over, really. It's easy to say that now. But when it did get smacked for 15, it's like, well, he can't bowl anymore. Because when you're defending or when you're chasing something that you're never going to chase anyway, you can't bowl like complete idiots.
It's also worth saying that second over goes for, not the second over, the 20th over, but his second over goes for what, Rob? 16, 17 runs? Maybe
16. 16
right?
runs.
The last 2 balls were wickets, right? I know one was a run out, right? But like Deepak in the chat was saying, I don't think it was that big a mistake. And I was like, that over looked like it was going to go for 30. Right? Like, he managed to pull it back from going for 30. The first ball when he came in and Shivam Dubé hit him down the ground, honestly, if I was Salman, I would have just gone up and I would have just like squeezed the back of his hamstring and said, "Oh, I don't know if that's right, mate. I think you'll need a break. I'll take this one over. I'll bowl this. Me or Shadab, can bowl from here." But it's just like they got away with that. But having said that, 175. I sent you this message, Rob? I don't know if you saw it. Do you know what the odds were on Pakistan to chase that?
I do. It was 1.22 at halftime, which is 82% India.
Yeah.
And I don't often back short prices, but I back that, having backed Pakistan before the game. But yeah, they were never chasing them.
No. I think India scored at least 15 to 20 runs more than what Pakistan could have chased. Even if they batted well, I didn't see them chasing anything north of 160, right? That was like their upper limit for me. And I feel like Salman Ali Agha, he activates genius captaincy mode when he bowls the first over, gets rid of Abhishek Sharma for a copper duck with his last ball, who, by the way, in 5 deliveries, Abhishek Sharma has not scored a run and he's been dismissed twice. So that's quite anticlimactic. And then
it's very anticlimactic if you've planned a really good big piece around him and you're waiting for him to hit one fucking 6 before you release the piece.
But it's interesting how Salman Ali Agha, after bowling 2 power play overs and taking 1 for 10, takes himself off when you've still got 2 left-handers batting out there, and we know that Abrar is shit versus left-handers. We've done a fair bit of analysis on this, but I guess they don't know these things, Jared.
I mean, they do, because Hassan Chima works for them, right? And he's like, he must know this. I'd be shocked if he didn't. Hey, Hassan, if you're watching as well. But like, yeah, they make a lot of mistakes, don't they? Shadab Khan running past the ball, like he's probably the best fielder in Pakistan history, and he runs past the ball. I want to give one bit of, not credit, but if you play that Ishan Kishan innings back again, surely one of those skied balls just gets fucking caught early on. And that's the one thing I will give back to Pakistan here, is that he was either hitting the ball out of the park or hitting it so shit that no one could catch it because it wasn't reaching anyone, right?
It was a great knock. It was lucky though. But the reason why Salman should have bowled again is because his second over did go for 9 short, but when you're bowling at Kishan, that's due to go for 12 anyway.
Yeah.
It went for 9. And it was really lucky that he survived that over. One went straight up in the air and was safe that he got a couple from. And he played all round another one and he nearly got out on another one. So he could have had him 3 times in the over that he bowled at him, actually. So for him then not to bowl again and for them to bowl lots of Abra and far too much Shaheen. Like, they must have known Rinku was batting, right? Because he was stood there with pads on and gloves and a helmet and stuff.
I wonder to myself, Rob, that have they ever watched Ishan Kishan bat? And I don't want to take anything away from him. It was the best knock of the day. 27 ball 50 and
incredible.
77 off 40. Really, really incredible knock. But you know how strong he is.
77 out of their first 88 runs or something.
Yeah,
like that.
something like that, man. And he's scoring 77 or 40, whatever. You obviously give him full credit because he's incredible and he's in terrific form as well. But dude, you kept feeding his pad, his hips. You know this guy will either rock back and pull you for 6 or he'll slog sweep you for 6. And Shadab and Abrar bowled grade A filth to him, right? India after the power play were 52 for 1. And I was like, okay, that's not the worst versus India because these guys are full of explosive batters. In the next 2 overs, India scored 30 runs. They're 82 for 1 after 8 overs. And I'm like, even if they slow down from here, they're getting to 170, 180 easy. And that's going to be more than enough runs for them to defend versus Pakistan.
I mean, this might be one for Varun to look up. I don't know if he can look it up really quickly while we're live on air. But you have a look at their team. They have... I would have assumed that the best bowlers versus left-hand versus the left-handers are Salman, Saim, and Usman Tariq, right? Because he's basically a wrong-on bowler, right? But after the power play, they bowl 2 guys. So they've got 3 bowlers who can bowl to left-handers, and they've got 3 bowlers who don't specialize against left-handers as much, right? And after the power play, when Ishan's absolutely rolling, they go with the 2 guys who are both more dominant against right-handers, which you would expect. Abra's always been better against right-handers, and Shadab is a leg spinner, right? The only other mistake they could have done at that stage was bring on Mohammad Nawaz, right? And there's triple down on it. And I think they don't. I think it was an over later that they brought him on. But it's like you actually have other guys who can bowl these overs. You don't need to make this decision at the moment. And I don't. The Abrar Ahmed over. I'm okay with that. He's their main bowler. You've put the fielder out now, and Ishan hits 3 boundaries. How often would you ever hit three fours right after the power play starts? Like, generally, that isn't even how the power play goes. So they got punched in the mouth there. Then don't give Shadab the next over. right?
Yeah.
That's when Usman Tariq had to bowl that next over and just had to bowl his two different kinds of wrong ones over and over again, hoping that Ishan hit one straight up in the air.
And Abrar and Shadab both, they continue to bowl it on his pads. Like, come on, slog sweep us, or, rock back and pull us. You're literally feeding Ishan
Shadab
Kishan.
bowled one down the leg side, didn't he?
Yeah, and he got away with that, right? It wasn't even a wide, so I think that was really dodgy stuff by Pakistan. Other than that, I mean, if you want to look at positives, Nawaz wasn't all too bad, none for 28 in his 4 overs. Usman Tariq,
but
he didn't
when does he come
make
on?
a difference.
When does this is what I don't understand. What's the score? When is it the 9th over they lose their wicket? Who gets the wicket in the 9th over? It was Syam Ayub, right?
Yeah.
Right. Then they bring on Nawaz and Usman Tariq. Well, the other team's already scoring at 1 million runs per over. Why are you not cycling through all your other spinners, especially when one of them is a mystery spinner, of which how would India prepare for them? The only way India could prepare for Usman Tariq was sky bowling hesitation balls in the nets, right?
Yeah.
And even then, I think it was Wasim on commentary who said it's almost impossible to bowl a wrong one from the angle he bowls it. There's like no one who's going to be able to do that in the nets. So just get him on when the chaos is happening. Don't bring on Shadab Khan, who's going to bowl to a left-hander. It makes no sense.
What's startling is that this...
right? If you're second favourites to win the match, you have to be cleverer than the other team. You have to do better thinking.
True. Yes.
And they didn't do any thinking. So when Kishan was batting, clever thing that India did, 9 overs gone. Tilak Varma came in the first over, 9 overs gone. He'd faced 9 balls because they had a guy on fire. When you're playing NBA Jam and he's on fire, throwing the ball over and over again, throwing the ball. And Kishan just basically, they showed a graphic on the telly, like, if Matthew Hayden is combing his hair aside for a minute to notice these things, then the cricketers playing on the field must be able to notice them. Every ball that went over there was naught to Kishan, and every ball that was on his pads or straight went for 4 or 6. So stop bowling those ones and bowl the other ones. And they just went, okay, well, how about we just try a few more on his pads, see if he keeps whacking it in that arc over the long on.
Yep.
Or maybe we just slow it down a bit, bowl it outside off and make him reach for it. And they couldn't do it. They were just like, all right, we'll just feed him exactly what he wants over and over again.
I think that's a good point as well. We knew that was going to be a wicket where you wanted to slow it down. And but they didn't. And the best way to slow it down is also to bowl it wide, because then it takes a lot more energy to hit a 6 from wide outside off stump than it does on your body, right? Because you have to reach it.
This was the first time we ever saw a team bowl 6 spinners in the same innings in a T20 World Cup. And what's odd is that they kept Usman Tariq for, I don't know, the death overs. Like, you bring him on early, surely. He was the talk of the town prior to this game, and he comes on when India already half won the game, right? And he does okay. 1 for 24 in 4 overs. He was probably Pakistan's second best bowler behind Syam Ayub, who, honestly... I mean, he has a terrific record versus India. I don't know how he does it, but none for 16 in 2 power play overs, then cleans up or trims Ishan Kishan's bail. Then he's on a hat-trick, removing both Tilak and Hardik Pandya. So his 3 for 25 somewhat saves Pakistan some grace, because losing this game by 61 runs also means that Pakistan have incurred a drubbing on net run rate. Now, if they lose to Namibia, USA is going to the Super 8s.
I mean, the other thing I would say is that, when we were looking at that, it's all well and good to say that Ishan Kishan took the game away and that you're waiting for Usman Tariq for the death overs. The death overs are when Ishan Kishan is batting, right? You have to change the way you think about cricket. If Abhishek Sharma or Travis Head or, any one of these guys is on one now, that's the death overs, because they're trying to hit a 6 every ball, right? And if you look at it, Pakistan fight back perfectly well all the way through until I don't think after Ishan goes out, there's another over that goes for more than 10. Right, there's a couple of overs that are much less than that as well. They strangle it. Tilak isn't batting great at the moment. Sky's not in great form. This is the other thing I would say, and Varun, I don't know if the data tells us this, but it looked like to me that wasn't the easiest pitch to bat on, right? And so once you put the pressure back on them, you actually had a chance. Did the data? Do we get any data on that, or is you just nodding because I'm right?
No, nothing. Even just looking at it, it didn't seem like it was an easy. Even Ishan just didn't have a great control percentage when we were looking it up.
Yeah.
I think it was around 63. So there was definitely elements of luck with his innings, and everyone else was looked like struggling a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it did look like he was batting on a different pitch. But like I said, full credit to him, but they fed him absolute filth. And, we talked about how Pakistan need to do everything right. They set themselves back by doing all the things wrong as well. And I mean, when they are chasing 176, you're like, okay, you know what? This is probably 15, 20 runs too many for them, even on a good day. But perhaps if they have a good power play, no, they are 3 for 13 after 2 overs. They're done. Game over.
I mean, what I don't understand is Hardik Pandya is a handy bowler. Like, what have they got him on the ICC threat level midnight or something? Like
150, I think.
He's like, obviously those numbers are. I don't even know what's happening there. But
if Jimmy Neesham is 93, surely Hardik is 98.
I mean, the Hardik might be 110.
Yeah.
But they put up the bowling averages of Hardik versus other sides, didn't they, on the screen? And he averages, 15 or something against Pakistan? And like 25 to 30 against everyone else. I thought it was a good over. And India needed it, right? Like, forget the win. I think they were going to win the game anyway because of the spin. I thought Pakistan always had a punchy chance if someone came off, right? Like, 175 was not above them if someone played a great innings, but it was very unlikely, and you could see why Rob would back India in that situation. But regardless of that, you're in a situation where you've got a fifth bowler bowling to you. No matter how good he is, he's a fifth bowler, and he bowls what? ... wicket ... It's insane how well Hardik Pandya seems to do against Pakistan compared to every other team when he's got the ball in his hand.
Even with the bat, generally he does well.
Him,
but
right?
Today it was a golden duck. Yeah,
Well,
what were you checking
so
about?
Hardik bowls 4 balls in the 6 to 7 meter range in that first over. So pretty much like very, what do you call it? Like very stick to the basics.
6, 7. Yeah, I mean, everyone knew that you have to bowl a hard length over here, back of a length, and you just vary your pace. That was the template that Blessing Muzo Rabbani gave us, right? Just a couple of days ago. I don't know, man. It's hard to... I mean, Tilak Verma bowls 2 overs and his figures are 1 for 11. I don't even want to bother going over the rest because everyone bowls well, right?
So, Tilak Verma, that was his 4th wicket in T20 internationals, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, it is absolutely ridiculous, right? That they come to... my video is basically framed around the fact that Pakistan had, whatever you want to call it, some kind of chance at the halfway point. And 12 overs later, Tilak Verma is taking the 7th wicket. Like, what the fuck is going on there?
And
right?
Rinku's bowling too, don't forget.
Oh my God.
So we never saw Sky bowl.
Rinku as well, lads.
So, funny story, Saad and I had one of our friends today in the live show. He does draft videos with us, but he doesn't do other videos. He got proper triggered when Rinku bowls the over. He's like, what the hell, Sky? Like, what are you doing to us,
Oh, no. He was 100% a troll. He was a troll, wasn't it? Like, I mean, it's the sort of thing I would do in club cricket to just be like, just to let you guys know we're so much better than you that it doesn't matter who we bring on.
Yeah, look, Pakistan were always going to struggle versus Varun and Kuldeep, and the game was over before Varun and Kuldeep even came on. Hardik Pandya is 1 for 8 in 2 power play overs, starts with a wicket maiden. And Bumrah, even though he goes for 13, done for, right? After the first over, Pakistan 13 for 3. And also, I really want to ask you guys, it was a bit odd to me that they didn't bring Ultra Edge up, even though everyone's saying that it hit Syme's front pad first. He was probably out. But isn't there like some protocol to bring up Ultra Edge?
No. Protocol doesn't count if India are playing, right? That's the rules across cricket. We had the Hawkeye setting on. The BCCI pressed the magic.
No, I don't know. You're on drugs on that one. That was always hitting the stumps. That ball. I would have given that out 100 times out of 100.
Definitely out. What about the one before? What about the LBW? That was absolutely stone dead.
The other one I would say, though, that LBW one, I think when it's that obvious that the ball has ricocheted off the pad, I just don't think we need to worry about it. I'll give the batter some credit because what happened, the reason why he goes up there is because in Syam Ayub's case, he knows he's hit the ball and he also knows he probably hit his pad and the ball. So he's thinking, I've hit that, and then it hit my pad. But he doesn't realize that it's like a pinball, right? That thing goes off about 9 different things on the way through. So I'll give him the credit.
That's not the one. It's the Sky one. When he was on 9 off 9 or something. When he was absolutely stone dead.
The Nawaz one.
Didn't give it.
The Nawaz one.
That was what I was talking about before.
Well, he's dead. I think that's absolutely definitely.
I think that should have been given out, but I also think it was hitting the outside of the leg stump. It's not that isn't the DRS. That's Damasceno making a bad call
outside of the middle stump, maybe. and then the magic India Hawkeye button got involved. That was so out.
No, that was always hitting the outside of the leg. I think you're wrong there. The mistake there is that Kumar Damasina doesn't give that out. I don't understand how you can be an umpire, watch cricket, and be like, oh, that may not be out. Like, it's absolutely looked out.
So Kumar Damasina has a tell now. First he nods, and then he gives it out, right? That's his new thing. But, I mean, look, it was one-sided thumping for India. Everyone bowls well. Rinku is their worst bowler, which you would expect, and even he goes for less than 10 runs in the over he bowls, right? I mean, Pakistan have bowled out. Yeah. So
I was going to just say though, you said something like this before, but I just want to be really, really clear. It is incredible that on a pitch where spin was impossible to play, that before Pakistan had faced an over, a ball of spin, they'd basically already lost this game. Like, just think about that for a minute. The levels at which they had to be that shit at the start. Now, okay, it's Bumrah, and we get it, and Hardik takes wickets for fun. But fuck me. We just seen that every ball Shaheen bowled looked like it was going to get hit for 12, right? Yeah. Just don't go out in the first 3 overs. That's all I'm asking for.
I remember when Pakistan...
On losing a game because they showed too much intent. Like, that's definitely one of the strangest things I've seen in cricket.
It was strange. But hey, look, after they were 3 down for 13 in 2 overs, they get to like 71 for 4 in 10 overs, and we're contemplating, can they do this? And I'm like, hey, Kuldeep hasn't even probably bowled yet, right? Like, so, I mean, look, the one thing you could give Pakistan is they probably fielded slightly better than India. There were a few misfields, but they took all their catches, whereas India dropped 3. Tilak dropped 2, and Kuldeep dropped 1, right? So that's just one saving grace, I suppose. But
is that a saving grace?
No.
I don't know if there's any.
Pakistan would have made 12.
They fielded terribly badly, Pakistan. The fact that India dropped a few catches when they'd already won the game, and they were basically trying to do kick-ups with it every time they got the ball chipped to them because they wanted to stay out there for an extra 5 minutes. The fielding from Pakistan was deplorable. Shadab one on the fence, like, for fuck's sake. Like, I don't swear on these things, but that is... I just got so fed up watching it. It's like, come on, lads. You're playing India. Like, you've actually decided that, we've managed to get this game on. Lots of people want to watch it. At least perform normal. Just get normal ability, not your absolute worst. And they did horrendous bowling changes, disgusting fielding, and then to have lost the game before any spin happens... Like, just get out of my sight. Come back in a different tournament when you're paying more attention to it. Lost by 60 runs. 61 runs.
61 runs. Yeah.
I mean, partnership that you talk about too, Bayram, it's a good partnership. But again, it comes at a point in the game where there's so many overs of spin to be bowled.
Yep.
And they had to be at the rate or above the rate, right? Like, that's not having a go at those two guys because it obviously wasn't their fucking fault. But I mean, had to be at the rate or above it because otherwise, what were you going to be able to do? You would just eventually you're going to. It's a bit like Australia versus Zimbabwe. If you have to start hitting boundaries on, eventually you're a chance of going out, and that's all Pakistan were doing is they were treading water until they tried to hit boundaries, and then they were going to go out.
Yeah, I mean, look. I'll give some credit to Usman Khan because he's the reason they don't lose by 161 runs and it's just 61 runs. And then, of course, Sky helps them lessen that, and not net run rate blow by just bowling Rinku, right? Like that over really helps Pakistan. But I mean, this is the sort of loss which kind of puts Pakistan in their place in the sense that, okay, you guys are dark horses at best. You are not contenders for this T20 World Cup. And Babar, I want to talk about Babar because one of our comments on the Pro Sports Live was, Behram, please ask Jared, is Babar Azam a fail-safe batter?
I mean, I went into this on the main video. This is literally the game he's picked for. And I don't mean India. I mean, literally this situation. You know the wicket's tricky. You know that there are hitters left because they still had Usman and they had Shadab to come, right? So those guys can catch up. We know that. All you have to do in this situation is be 35 off 27. Right? Make sure that you're within touching distance and that the other guys can bat the way that they need to bat. It is literally what Mike Hessen said in the press conference. Yep. And Babar Azam plays the limp-dickest drive you will ever see when he hasn't even faced a ball of spin yet, Varun. Yeah. He hadn't faced a ball of spin. Right? Why would you play that shot? It doesn't make any sense. And so, I mean...
He spent the whole last year, Jared, without attacking a single ball of spin. And he chooses this game.
This is the ball. This is the ball.
This is the ball.
Fuck.
I mean, you don't know how to play slow left armers. Hermeet, taking down Hermeet is kind of an anomaly, but you don't even have that shot, Babar, that you're trying to play. You cannot play that shot.
What was he trying? He was trying to loft it over like extra cover for 6, wasn't
Big slog. It was just a big.
He was just slogging.
Slog.
Yeah.
But he was the guy. I was like, I said it to you guys. Babar's going to be 20 something not out when they lose this, when they're bowled out for 120, and he came in. How long did he last? 7 balls, and he didn't look like he wanted to be there at all. The Big Bash was very funny of how he went from the marquee player in the Big Bash to like spitting at his own teammates by the end of it. But he turned up at this, and he still seems incredibly angry that he has to play cricket for a job. But what the hell is it? Like Jared said, this is the time. You're like, Babar is the guy for this, right? He does the job at one end and knocks it around, and the others bat round him. And instead, he was like, I can't be bothered. I'm just going to slog, see what happens. Out. So what was it? Axar in the power play? Come on, man.
I mean,
I
think they've been 4 balls bowled, and he was at the other end, right? And he comes on for like the 5th ball, and it's like it doesn't actually even make sense with the amount. They'd lost 3 wickets by then, right? It doesn't even make sense.
2 falls in that over, Jared.
That's what I mean. So they've hit boundaries in that over. They've put pressure back on Akshar. Babar's job at that stage is get the guy who can hit boundaries back on strike, get us out of the power play, manipulate the spin, hopefully set up a platform for Usman or Shadab to hit a bunch of boundaries later on. Like, I don't agree with, I wouldn't have picked him, right? Quite obviously. But this is what they said they wanted him for. And then he's just hit the slog button on the fucking console for no reason, right?
This is the thinking thing, right? So Babar's in shit form. That's a fact. It's indisputable. Yeah. But Tilak isn't in very good form either. Tilak isn't. But Tilak had a guy that could smoke it at the other end. So what Tilak did, he said, right, I'm just going to push the ball into the gap and walk down the other end over to you. And the guy on Flames was out in the 9th over off his 40th ball. Right, so he's faced 40 balls in 9 overs or 8.5 overs because Tilak identified the situation and went, "My job is to get him
in that partnership." Right?
Say that again, mate. Sorry.
I think Tilak was 10 of 7 in that partnership.
Something like that.
And what was?
I mean, there was one point where it was a clear 2 on offer, and Tilak denies the 2. He's like, no, Ishan, we need you on strike for the next over. So that is really smart stuff. And then,
which is also the opposite Babar, right?
Yeah, it is the opposite of Babar. But like we talked about Tilak getting 1 for 11 in 2 overs. Everyone walks away with brilliant figures today, right? Kuldeep barely gets to bowl. He comes on when the game is over, drops a catch, 1 for 14 in 3. Pandya 1 for 8 in 2 power play overs, ends with 2 for 16. Bumrah only bowls the 2 power play overs, 2 for 17. Who else we got? Akshay Patel. 1 for 9 in the power play over, 2 for 29 overall. It is a field day for India. They're just going to party hard tonight, I suppose, because, do they have a few days between their next game?
I'm not sure when the next one is. The other thing I would say is, I don't think this changes Pakistan's chance of making the final all that much.
Yeah.
Unless they lose to Namibia, of course. But I don't think it changes that because we had them 4th on the power list, and I didn't have them 4th on the power list because I thought they'd win this game. I thought they would lose this game. But you look at the things that worked for them today, especially when it comes to bowling. In South Africa and New Zealand and whoever's in, I haven't got all the list in front of me, but whoever they have to play still have to go through that. So you look at this, and it's like, that's absolutely fine. But what happens when another team puts any pressure on them? When Ryan Rickleton hits a couple of 4s and everything? Yeah. Because they just don't look like they're there. I talked to Mike Heston a few months back about this team, and I said, what do you think? How far away do you think you are? And he said, I actually think we're putting together a really good team. I'm just wondering if all all these tournaments are coming too quick for us. And that's kind of what it looks like. You could see them making some good decisions, picking someone like Usman Tariq and having Babar Azam in the same side, right? And, them getting Shadab and Nawaz back to some sort of form, right? There's some really nice little pieces in this side, but at this stage, Bayram might be their best seamer.
I mean, Shaheen surely loses a spot, right? They've got to drop both of Shaheen and Babar.
Don't pick the one that's in terrible form if you only got one of them. Don't pick the one who's in the worst form out of all of them.
I think he needed to play this game, Shaheen, just for closure. Now you probably go to Salman Mirza and Naseem Shah.
In the World Cup, Bayram. What are you experimenting for? Giving him one more chance?
Closure? Just send him a text message and say, it's over, babes. Leave my T-shirts alone.
You look like your shit. You used to be really, really good, but we played you in every game in all formats forever when you were 19 and 20 and 21 and 22. Then you keep getting injured. Clearly, his knees knackered because
we're not blaming him. We're just saying his body's done. Right?
Yeah. He's been a brilliant bowler, and he was the best first over bowler in the world for quite some time, right? For quite some time. But he hasn't been recently. And you're playing the World Cup game today. You don't get any prizes for having good numbers 2 years ago. You get prizes for being good today. Shaheen Afridi is going for 11.22 and over in this World Cup, and that's not a surprise.
Varun, in the last year, what is his true economy and true wickets? He'd have to be down on everything, wouldn't he? I mean,
and once you check that, Varun, I want you to see after that Dubai game in which Shaheen Afridi wrecks India up front. How has he fared versus India in T20s? I would guess not very good.
Well, I mean, Virat got hold of him at the G, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. I mean, it's a shame because we all know how talented he is. And, you know, there's lots of younger fans now who, like, if you bring him up and they'll go like, he's shit. And it's like, yeah, but you were like 8 and you don't know what peak Shaheen was like. Like, if you go back and, you know, people like me and Rob, who we don't give a shit what country you come from, we were like, this guy is legit the best new ball bowler in the world. Maybe in all 3 formats at different times he had the ability to
He won the Sobers Award, right? Cricket's Ballon d'Or. He won it on merit.
And since then...
Ask Aaron Finch. He finished Aaron Finch off over about 10-game period, didn't he? Blowing his front pad off every single game.
Yeah. I mean, he was just a genius bowler. And so watching him have to do this...
Now, to be fair, Jared, in all T20s, his true econ is 0.49 and 0.08 since 2025.
Okay.
Yes,
I mean, he has had good spells.
It's not great, but it's not as bad. You know,
it's not
like
Shaheen Afridi, that's what we're saying.
When he
right?
comes back... When he comes back into Hessen's team in T20s, he's a changed bowler in the sense that he's not going for the magic ball too often. He's dragged his length back and he varies his pace. Roll off the finger cutter, back of the hand slower one.
Too much, Varun, right? He's bowled
Where was it today?
First ball to Ishan. No, he bowls an absolute short pitch ball to Ishan Kishan when it's the new ball. Why aren't you trying to swing it? Did he swing it for like a few balls before?
I don't think he swings it as much as he used to either.
Of course he doesn't, right? It used to be. When I knew that Shaheen was opening the bowling, I backed unders and wicket in first over and LBW normally or bowled. Like without thinking, every time Shaheen's going to open the bowling, I'm on fall of wicket unders, wicket in first over at 7-2 or 4-1 or whatever it was. Cheers, show me the money. And now if I know he's bowling, I want to back overs. I want to back runs. And it's the same man, but it's a bit like Jofra. It's not the same bowler. It's the same human running up, but it's not with the same output. And that's because, very much like Jofra, he's been asked to do way too much. In Shaheen's case, too young. You know, he was the spearhead in all formats, wasn't he? And wind it back, we said it at the time, stop bowling this guy, stop making him playing every single series, all the gun overs every time. It's a lot of pressure, even if your body stands up to it. It's a lot of pressure to be the go-to bowler every single time. India have seen this with Bumrah a bit, but India have loads of good bowlers. So when Bumrah's tired or he's injured, he can go away and rest. When he's come back in World Cups, like the last one when he beat South Africa, he'd had a nice rest, hadn't he? Because they'd identified that he was carrying injuries. So, well, actually, Jasprit, we've got loads of bowlers that are good, so let's make sure that you're all right for the big stuff. Whereas Pakistan just go, carry on, Shaheen, carry on, Shaheen, carry on, Shaheen. We don't have any other seamers. They do have seamers. What's happened to Naseem Shah, Bayram? What have they done to him?
They did the same thing to him.
Right.
Yeah, essentially.
Too young.
I mean,
too much cricket.
These guys don't know how to rehab fast bowlers after injuries. There's a long list of players who have lost their careers due to bad rehab. And Shaheen and Naseem both are, brought back early. Don't you remember the 2022 T20 World Cup? He shouldn't have been playing that, Shaheen. He should have been rehabbing. But he injures his knee in the final and he's never been the same again. In that World Cup, even 80% fit Shaheen was still doing his thing. And that's the last of that guy that we saw, right?
That's because the last genius version of him, yeah.
Basically, and it is quite tragic.
Yeah, he doesn't bowl as fast anyway. He doesn't swing it as much anymore. So that's two big weapons he's lost here. The only reason he's
lost
still
his USP.
I think, playing is because he's left-handed, essentially, right? He's tall and he's left-handed. That's basically...
Well, apparently also for closure, so that they can say goodbye to him.
Playing this Indian World Cup is his therapy, Jared. That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
He was really good at batting about 2 years ago as well. His batting suddenly got amazing.
Yeah, his batting might be better than his bowling some games now.
Yeah, in the Asia Cup, what was it? In the Asia Cup, he was constantly rescuing them.
Yeah, anyway, I think let's move on to some super chats. There's so many that I'm slightly low-key afraid. Okay. Yeah. 29 is a massive number. Got Akshu Dhavala, who says the comms mentioned a few times that pace has taken more wickets than spin in Colombo. Is that because you actually get assistance, or may it have to do with the batters having to attack them more? I'm surprised. I would have assumed spin takes.
Would it just be you always have more spin for pace than spin on most pitches anyway, even on spin-friendly ones?
They don't attack the spinners as much because they know the ball will turn.
It's also quite often it doesn't make any sense because if you bowl at the death, you're going to get more wickets, and pace bowlers almost always bowl at the death.
Yeah.
So I would never look at that stat overall. But because it's been hard to score against the spinners, it might be that you try and over attack when the pace bowlers come on, which is kind of what he's saying here. Which could be
and as we saw today.
Yeah,
fair enough. Okay, yeah, I mean, India's seamers get wickets, right? Blue Eagles says, weirdly, a lot of media underrated India ahead of this. There was a bit of a gulf even in these conditions. Do India have to work on their entry points? I don't know why people were pretending like this will be a super competitive game. Yeah. I gave Pakistan, a 15% chance. And things needed to go in their favor. It was a lot of ifs. So, yeah, weird.
Well, we all thought, the betting people, it was 30% was the odds today. Pakistan were 30%, India were 70%. And we all thought, well, this is the ground where Pakistan are going to be trouble for India. This is the one they want to play at, isn't it? Right? You don't want to play on a road. And so when it comes to do India have to work on their entry points, the thing about India being so much better than everybody else and having the biggest squad, so you can rotate. When West Indies rotated, they lost 2-1 to Nepal, right? In the lead up to this World Cup. Whereas India can rest anyone they want and they're still awesome because they've got players for every position. So Sanju doesn't play and you've got Ishan Kishan comes in or whatever.
Yeah.
The thing is they have this staggeringly high win percentage whilst they're mucking about, whilst they're going, well, let's try Bumrah bowling all his overs in the power play today. He doesn't normally do that. Let's try that. Or let's have Chakravarti bowling in the power play today with Axar. Let's try that one. And then when they've won a game in the World Cup, they're bowling Tilak and Rinku. Whereas everyone else is like, we've only got one bowler who's any good. We better make sure he bowls all the gun overs. Like they're that far ahead of everybody, India, that they can muck about. So on a normal day, you'd say, what the hell are India doing? They're actually quite smart because they've got, it's easy to be smart when you've got all the money and all the resources. It's much easier than when you haven't. But you may as well try all this stuff when you've already won because it's not like they're going to be done in net run rate. They've already qualified with a net run rate of 3. The net run rate's 3. They've only played 3 matches.
So they've not even played that well, I thought, in this tournament.
Not really?
Yeah, they've been slightly scrappy, right? And Jaiswal isn't even in the squad if you're talking about wealth of resources.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. They are playing a different sport, as Jared says. But
I
didn't say this.
He's not really a great squad player. He either needs to be in the 11 or not be in the squad. So I kind of get.
I pulled off.
No. But the point is that he would open for almost every other side, Varun.
Yeah, easily.
I pulled off a Jared today before the game where I sent a video to CS and I was like, can you sub this for me, buddy? And I said that even though a lot of things need to go right for Pakistan to win this game, they've played India thrice recently. If they bat first and set a target of 170 to 80, they could put India under pressure. And it is going to be a pressure game on a slow surface with big boundary dimensions. They don't do any of those things, right? So they needed lesser things to go in their favor and they didn't. And they said, no, we don't want them. So yeah. Go to the next super chat, man.
About Namibia against the USA
because we've got 29 super chats. Yeah, this one's just a comment. Boycott's grandmother has more brains than Salman Ali Aga. All right.
Well, I mean, he certainly started the game well.
Yeah, he did. He surprised us all. Andy B asks, Sri Lanka versus Australia has all the marbles on the line tomorrow. How do you guys think it plays out? What are Sri Lanka's keys to victory? Sans Hasaranga. Bat first probably has an advantage tomorrow.
I mean, I think both of these sides are shells of themselves at the moment, right? Hasaranga just takes away so much from that team, and Australia opened the bowling with Marcus Stoinis in the last game. I wouldn't even tell you what the keys are. The most important thing would be for Sri Lanka that Kusal Mendes actually scores at a normal rate for once in a game, and he can put a lot of pressure back on Australia.
Yeah, that won't happen, right? We're probably going to talk about a slow 50 by Kusal Mendes where he's been dropped 5 times tomorrow when we go live. Arnav Jindal is the next super chat, if you could bring that up. Yeah, so he has a question for me. Asks me, despite the huge popularity of tape ball cricket like win ball cricket in West Indies, why hasn't Pakistan produced big hitters regularly? It's funny because when T20 cricket comes about, Pakistan are the team who are dynamic and explosive. They've got those big hitting guys like Afridi, Imran Nazir, Abdul Razak. They actually were that team. And now they've gone into this, circumspect mode where we need to knock it around and make sure that we don't capitalize on the overs we need to. So it's a really weird trajectory.
Also,
I feel like
wind ball is very different than tape ball in that it was specifically set up for a short period of time, whereas you can play long tape ball games, right? Whereas if you go back and look at wind ball, it's set up like a T10 game, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure what wind ball is.
Yeah.
But I feel like after that generation of cricketers, there was a consistent effort to tell people be like more, technically
Anchory.
sound.
Yeah, I agree.
Anchory, play the ball around the ground. Let's go safe cricket and trust our bowlers. And now Pakistan are struggling to get out of it, even though they've made attempts. But they'll need the next crop of players to kind of turn this ship around, I suppose. These guys can't do it. Babar can't do it. Neither can Rizwan. Okay. What's next? The bug catcher who sent us like $100 in the other channel today. Thank you, bunch, man. Hardik is such an asset. He's so consistent with the ball. His best peak day might not be as good as some of the top bowlers' best days, but his average day is better than most full-time bowlers. He's a fantastic fifth bowling option, man. He can bowl top and end. That's a great utility to have.
Yeah, just really, really good at cricket. That's the main thing.
Yeah,
and he makes their team loads better when he plays. He makes every other person.
Would you say he's a swarm harmonizer, Rob?
Yeah, that's exactly what I would say he was. He's just because he can do anything with the bat and the ball. Like, he's not the best bowler in the world, but he can do a job in any phase, which is massive to have in your armory as your fifth stroke sixth bowler. And for batting, like, I personally think he's a natural 4. But for India, you don't need to have a natural 4 with their batting lineup. You need to be fluid. And he can. My only criticism of Hardik is sometimes he does the inexplicable blockathon where you never see it come. And it's like, why is this guy 3 off 11? It's an absolute car park. Like, this is the best pitch ever and he's 3 off 11. And then other days you think, well, Hardik just needs to come in and consolidate and he's 25 off 6. Like, I can't see his batting coming when he bats. But like today's bat, his innings was really funny. So one thing you shouldn't do here is just have a massive mow at your first ball. First ball, massive mow, straight in the air, see you later. But what a cricketer! Like, he makes India loads better when he plays. I just think he relaxes everybody because it's almost like having 2 goalkeepers, isn't it? If you're playing football, it's like he's so solid. It's
2 players packaged into one, right? Because he's a frontline bowler or fifth bowling option, and with the bat, he is terrific. And maybe that part is true that he's the best white ball pace bowling all rounder of this generation. But then he's got the attitude of an ice cold dick killer. And that's got to mean something, right? Like, he has that fire in his eyes that I'm going to fuck you.
Yeah, well, he was brought up living with...
I'm going to fuck you or fuck you up?
Fuck you over.
Okay, just make
sure. You've been bullied by Cronal for 15
You never know about the first one either.
You end up being mentally tough.
Sohaib from the UAE, by the way, has the eyes of I will fuck you. Just so in case anyone's watching the rest of this tournament, they need to go and watch Sohaib if he comes into bat again. He definitely has the fuck you eyes. Anyway, sorry.
Yep. What's the next one, Varun? Nehal Kul says, was game sense missing from Pakistan power play batting? Look, they knew they had to go hard. Yes. It didn't come off. They were done in 2 overs.
I'd say it's more shot selection more than bad game sense.
Yeah. I mean, Saim got a good one. The others not so much.
Yeah.
KSHMR Beard says, this is most unnecessarily hype fixture. Pakistan batting just lose their head every time. I'd rather watch India versus Netherlands than waste my time here. A lot of people feel that way, that this is not a $1 billion contest, but it's always going to get those $1 billion. That's the world that we live in.
A $1 billion contest and a 4-pound product.
Yeah. It always is, isn't it? The games. The Kohli one was good. The Kohli smearing it straight with the forehand.
Babar and Rizwan. I suppose that was still a boring game, but it was exciting because you were just like, well, Pakistan's got to fuck this up, but how? And then they didn't.
But as a neutral, just want a contest. And I thought the conditions allowed Pakistan to give a good account of themselves today, and they just relentlessly did bad things. I think the fielding and the dumb bowling to Kishan, and then the being basically all out before the hard type of bowling came on. It's just like, come on, lads. Like, it's very difficult, even as a neutral, not to be caught up and like be looking forward to this as the game. At least, today or this week. Like, I'm quite looking forward to watching India against Pakistan. But it was absolutely shit.
I think this is maybe the first one where I was like, I don't care. Like, it just got to a point where, like, I just need something with the cricket where I was just like, it's going to be shit. I'm going to be upset. So I didn't emotionally attach myself. But having said that, I've covered about 12 or 15 of these games live. Like, it's taken a long time for me to get here.
Yeah, also because geopolitics has engulfed this fixture and it's become an obviously economically driven thing in cricket.
Yeah.
it's kind of taken the sting out of it for me. But I knew that Pakistan have a very little chance. Yet, I was hoping for a contest. That's all I wanted, and they didn't give us one.
Yeah, exactly that. It's boring. Right. And I what is it, 8-1 recently?
Something like that, man. I think we should just stop the count.
It's not a massive rivalry, is it? If one of the teams never really fights in the fight, they just stand there and get knocked out, and everyone goes, all right, when are we not playing against each other next time?
True. Okay. What's up next? Gagi ST asks, man of the match, India versus Pakistan for each of you. I'd go with Ishan.
Babar. Yeah, Ishan wins this. And Babar just unlucky to miss out.
Who did get the award? Is it Ishan or someone else?
Ishan, it had to be.
Yeah, it had to be.
It wasn't him.
Right? He rode his luck, but it was a great
inning. Babar tried very hard to steal that away from him, but...
True. Okay, next super chat, please. Vimal S. Menon asks, would it shock anyone if the ICC priced rights better, scrap guaranteed India-Pakistan match, leave to chance, boost other marquees, or risk hostage drama?
It would shock me if the ICC did a consistent... made a consistent lot of decisions that went in the right direction. So yeah, I'd be fairly shocked.
It would shock me if the ICC upheld sporting integrity, consistency, competition, and fairness.
Yeah, it would shock me if they didn't prioritize money over cricket. That's what would shock me.
Yep. All right. What do we have next, Varun? Avi Pandey asks, India versus Pakistan is so one-sided now that the ground antics are more interesting now, and they are needed to sell the fixture. Off the ground antics are more important now or interesting. They are needed to sell the fixture and hype it up. Tired of them. At least we got no drama on the field.
Yeah, I actually don't think that. I don't think, as someone who's worked in cricket for a long time, you don't need to do anything for this game. It just hypes itself. Yeah. And Pakistan had never beaten India in an ODI World Cup, right? Like it was there's been plenty of one-sidedness before. It's just not how it works. It just hypes itself up. It just exists.
Yeah.
Because for a lot of these people who do media, they don't cover cricket. They cover India-Pakistan games, right? And the IPL. So for them, this is the only game. It doesn't matter if the cricket is good or not.
Are we talking about 2 billion people roughly in those countries? What is that, 1/4 of the world?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably followed by anywhere from 800 to 1.3 billion, right? Like if we're being honest. Yeah. And I'm not saying every one of those is watching it and everything, but they're following it in one way or another. Yeah. That shit just hypes itself. We just watched a Super Bowl with like nowhere near as many people watching it, right? And they had to get a rapper on and then racially abuse him for anyone to pay attention in the rest of the world.
Yeah. Okay. What's next?
Too much there, Rob, or was I very accurate?
Yeah, I couldn't find the super chat for this one.
I am really sorry, Upamanyu. We've got 3,765 people on this live, so your super chat is probably lost. We apologize, though. Thank you for the money. Vaishak asks, Champions Trophy venue myth busted. India showed real adaptability, controlled 170 instead of chasing 200.
There was no venue.
Why does this look so AI generated?
Yeah, there was no venue myth. We all said that they were the best team all the way through, mate. No one ever had that. What we said is it's a ridiculous situation and it shouldn't have been allowed to happen and blah, 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 blah. But no one ever said they weren't the best team. I think we, on this very channel, had made videos going, you could have played this on any planet in the solar system and they still would have been favorites. So,
yes,
I'm sorry. Thank you for the money, but that's just nonsense here.
They had the advantage of zero travel and fatigue and playing in one ground, but they were still the best team and they won the competition because they were the best team. Pakistan has the same advantage right now. Has that helped them?
Yeah,
exactly. Right.
I do think like a tough Colombo pitch evens the skill gap more than like a flat pitch would. Like because if this was a road, I think I don't even know what would have happened. Right?
Yeah. India would have struggled.
Lose by 200 runs.
Can you lose by innings?
Yeah. Okay. Ayush Sharma says, no questions, just cheering for my favorite podcast. You the man.
Very much.
We love you too. All right. Hassan Ahmed says, one king, two son-in-laws, loser performance. Let's go forward. It's allowed for people to de-stress.
Enough to deal with that.
Yeah. Master PPV asks, was Kuldeep finding form again here, or was that just because of the wicket being helpful to spinners? Kuldeep came and bowled his first over when the game was done and dusted, bro.
It's a tough one. Look, he looks fine to me.
Nothing about Kuldeep there.
Yeah, he looks a little bit in better rhythm to me of recent times, so he's looking okay. But yeah, today I wouldn't even worry about it. The only thing I'd be looking at is his run up. at the moment. I wouldn't even be looking at the ball coming out of his hand because that game was done.
Yeah. Did bowl a couple of full tosses, but yeah, this doesn't count. Next super chat is from Wimal S. Menon. He says, Jared, threat level midnight, The Office.
This is one of those things when I say things out loud, I have no idea what I'm talking about. And when I said threat level midnight, I was like, what am I even referencing? I know I'm referencing something.
I sent that to our chat earlier on when everyone was talking. Everyone was talking about threat level because of those stupid graphics. And I said, there's only one threat level that I care about, and that's threat level midnight, and then sent you the film post.
You did too. Well, there you go. You put it in my head. You put it in my head.
Inception.
Jim
Rob Barron is the Leo DiCaprio of Jared's life.
Golden face. That's it. That's a great episode of The Office, by the way. If you want to, next time India play Pakistan, just go and watch the threat level midnight video. way.
Are you sure you didn't say this to Jared in his dream, though?
I say a lot to Jared in his dreams, and he says a lot to me in mine, but that's a whole other podcast.
Every time I've met Jared in my dream, he's been a dick to me. Real life, not so much. He's been nice.
I was going to say.
The way around, mate.
Okay. What else do we have over here? Martin Luther King. Love it.
I was going to say it right.
Martin Luther King is a great name. Is this a World Cup rivalry or just a very expensive 40-over training simulation for the Indian team? Pretty boring match at the end. The latter.
Yeah. At least they get to play some good spinners. They got a little bit of a warm-up with their batters. They'll be happy with that.
Yeah. Sorry, Ribu. Oh, no, we did catch Ribu's super chat. He says, I only watch India-Pakistan games, but Pakistan batters seem sort of neurotic every time they play India. They should get Gale-style massages before going in. I feel for you, bro, if you only watch these games.
Watch the other ones.
Yeah. The other ones are a lot better.
Just watch that over and over again for the rest of the competition. Don't watch any other games.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, can I just say, Pakistan's batters are neurotic when they're not playing India too.
Yes, they are neurotic all the time. The few occasions where they're not neurotic, that's when everyone's surprised. Okay. We have MC Lebowski, who says, India-Pakistan bilaterals plus Pak players in the IPL, the only way to bring parity to this contest. What's the best alternative since this isn't currently possible? You need process and structure, and Pakistan doesn't have any of those things.
Yeah, Pakistan just need to be professional in their cricket.
Yep.
And to be fair, they have made some very small strides towards that recently. And so let's see if they can keep it up. But they are an amateur team playing in a professional sport, and talent does not overcome everything.
Absolutely. Got Kagi once again with another super chat. She asks, is this Babar's last T20 World Cup or T20I? They might still play him, although I wouldn't. I would bring in Fakhr or Nafi, maybe Nafi ahead of Fakhr, but surely it's his last T20 World Cup.
Him and Shaheen.
We'll get that question in 2048 when they've got a stuffed effigy of Babar that's batting number 3 and scoring quicker than he scores now.
But no. He's got a stuffed effigy which has been signed up for 420k by the Sydney Sixers because they'll sell tickets around it. Yep. Okay. Dheeraj KRR, thank you for the super chat, man. It's a good one. Saim Ayub should do a podcast for that 6 off Bumrah. If you know, you know. Oh, yeah. So he's referring to Saibzada Farhan, who made like a documentary after he slammed Bumrah for 6s and still lost all 3 games. So that's something.
I mean,
he didn't get out to Bumrah, the moral victory today.
The commentators going on and on about the 6 off Bumrah, where I was like, hasn't he tried to hit that on the leg side? It's gone to the offside. Like, am I missing something here?
That's the one kind of 6 maybe even I could hit Bumrah for, because it's all Bumrah.
Yeah, exactly. It has almost nothing to do with the batter.
Yeah.
He's in the 6 off 2 club, though.
Yeah.
Very cool club to be in.
Shiva Subramanian. Shiva Subramanian says, Jared does Shadab's ass went back to normal in this match, and Babar, what a player most of the time. Been 12th player for India, long live King Babar. So I think he's talking to you about your ass analysis.
Your
analysis.
I didn't see 1.5. He was bowling 1.5 before.
No,
are you happy with the ass alignment?
Yeah, he's getting his hip through a lot better today. As I said, he didn't bowl well today, but he's a wrist spinner. Like, there are going to be games when it doesn't come out, and I wouldn't have bowled him for that over. But yeah, I've watched him a bit in this tournament. There is, when we can clip this for the internet, there is slightly more ass from Shadab at the moment than we have seen previously.
Well, we'll take the extra butt cheek or half butt cheek.
Hey, that might be Pakistan's biggest win today. A fraction more ass, says random Gora commentator.
Keiko Deaths, thank you for the money. I think we've lost your super chat. That'll happen today if you haven't sent your super chat with the
just in cash.
Yeah. Avi Pandey says, remind me what tournament did Peak Shaheen win Pakistan? You don't always have to win things to be peak, man. AB de Villiers didn't win jack shit.
I was going to say, that just doesn't mean anything.
He was going to win them a World Cup if he didn't get injured. Unlucky Lucky Stokes did his thing. He nearly won that one.
True.
So, yeah, that's just nonsense.
Yeah. Okay. Keiko Death. Oh, there's the super chat. Did we see 8 sickets in the Park innings?
There was a lot of sickets, wasn't there, early on there,
6
Rob?
wickets, I assume?
Hey?
6 and is it 6 and wicket?
This is 6 or wicket. When basically it was something we did on Cricket 8, where it was very clear the next ball the batter was going to try and hit a 6, but there's also a big chance it's going to be a wicket. Robbie loves this phrase, by the way. Not Rob Barron, but the other Rob. He's a big fan of this one as well. So I love a sicket.
Yeah.
It's so easy to say, right? If you've watched a lot of cricket and to come across as a massive judge, if you go, something's just about to happen, you know, when Andre Russell's 1 off 9, you're like, I think something's going to happen now. And the next ball's either a massive six or he's out. You're like, I told you.
Rob, I think the best one, though, is the attempted sicket.
Yeah. Okay. There's wheels within wheels there. I could definitely get into that.
Yeah, all right.
How far does this rabbit hole go, Jared? Is there a false sicket?
Oh, there might be a false sicket. Now, I might have to do a whole article explaining the sicket conundrum.
Okay. Got Sham Nair who says Sehwag, UV, Robbie, Afridi. Peak of them all versus peak of both teams. These teams, who makes it?
In the team or like on the field?
I have no idea how to answer that because it doesn't seem like it's the best.
Is that question?
Peak Afridi. Peak Afridi would make most
T20 makes it into the
teams.
teams? Or like if they all went up against each other, who wins?
Well, I mean, certainly Afridi.
Okay.
Certainly Afridi and Sehwag make a lot of peak teams. Sorry. Yeah, those two. I don't know about Robbie and Yuvraj. Yuvraj's numbers are weirdly not as impressive in T20 cricket as they should have been. And he got sick.
Starts off well in T20 and then he just falls off.
Well, he gets sick as well, right? So
that's
you have to factor that
No, the drop-off is pre-cancer. It's not necessarily that in T20 for some reason.
I didn't think we'd be talking about Yuvraj's cancer today, guys.
He got dengue as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
He did get dengue.
Oh, damn.
It's pretty horrible.
I was on tour when they got the dengue, but I was on my honeymoon, Rob, and we were in Sri Lanka, and the next place we were going to was where he was when he got the dengue. And I was like, that's when you know too much about cricket, where you're just, I have to say to my family, just so you know, Yuvraj has got dengue where our bus is going in about 4 hours' time.
Stay away from the Skeeters.
Hated it.
Okay. Rohit Kumar Jha says, it's high time India, Australia, England send under 19 and A teams to play associates regularly and stop being reliant on one India-Pakistan game. Also 24-team World Cup from 2028. How will that fix the money thing?
I was about to say, how are they related to each other?
Yeah.
What would happen if Suryavanshi played against all the associate bowling lineups, please?
True. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe 2014 World Cup.
I'm not sure my man Dylan Hayliger can quite hold Suryavanshi back, but he'll give it a go, Rob. The big deal. He'll give it a go.
And that's going to make so much money that we won't need the India-Pakistan game again. I'd pay for it. Vishal Pant says, difference between both teams is cricketing sense, toss, respecting their good bowlers and attacking the ones who are vulnerable. Pakistan did everything wrong. Difference between both teams is skill. Skill is the difference.
Yeah. And professionalism.
Yeah. Okay. What else do we got? These are never ending.
Again,
they're just going and going and going. Guys, I might have to drop off. You might have to review the last 2 games yourself because my battery is dying. I didn't bring my charger. Prithvi says, I understand intent in power play and trying to bash Hardik even, but why do Pakistan always want to slog Bumrah? Is that part of trying to assert themselves against opposite arc? You'd have to ask them.
I think the bigger question is that you watch a lot of players around the world who play attacking shots, and Pakistan play more slogging shots. And me and Bayram have done whole episodes on this before. It doesn't stand up the same way it does for other teams.
Yeah, let's go. Speed round, Varun.
Slight concern for India is that 2 concerns. One is Bumrah gets hit for 6s now, and he never used to post injury. And 2, Abhishek looked quite ill to me today, and he's clearly not right. That wasn't an Abhishek innings, was it?
You've got a whole super chat for you here that you're talking over.
Should ICC call Bishop Robert Barron to solve cricket's problems? He'd fight with them day one.
Let's go.
So just so that everyone understands this is a Cricket 8 joke where there are actually 2 Rob Barrons. There is our Rob Barron and there is the Bishop Rob Barron. But one day we're going to get them to wrestle each other.
Nice. I need our Rob Barron to be a few beers in because I'm going to put some money on him. India versus Pakistan is a rivalry, says Bug Catcher, and will stay one for a while regardless of recent record. True. Just look at the recent Ashes results. For example, Australia has been bullying England for the past years and it's still hype. Agreed. Next.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
You get it. You know. Anuj Anand says, why was this match hyped? Dude, do we need to answer this?
Now let's move on.
I believe it's
on.
because the 2 countries are close to each other on a map, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. And they hate each other currently. So there's that.
Yeah.
Okay. Vibor Seth asks if it wasn't this hype, do you think Pakistan will play better and not lose heads? And if so, how much better? Also agree, Jared, don't feel invested anymore. They're different skill levels or at different skill levels, guys.
I do think, though, there is an element of this game means a lot more to Pakistan now than it does to India because they've lost so much. And it's a bit the same when England turn up in Australia, and Rob would know this. Like, when England turn up in Australia, they do look a bit more panicked than they need to, just because they're like, this is the series we're going to be remembered for. Whereas the Australians are like, yeah, we'll try and do well, and if we do well, we do well. And I do think there is an element of that there, but that just usually that's just because you've been losing a lot, right? And that might be because you're shit.
But if you're the much better team and you're like, well, we're going to play Pakistan again, and we're probably going to win, you're not feeling under loads of pressure.
That would be my point.
You just need to turn up. Whereas Pakistan may feel, I don't know, how the hell do you get into the heads of the Pakistan players? But they may feel, well, this is our massive Everest of a game and there's been all this external nonsense going on for us to even get here. We have to play our absolute best, and they're so hyped that, catastrophe theory, they just rock up and they're rubbish.
Yeah. I mean, they do probably want to win this game more than India, the Pakistan players. Anyway, next question, please. Sumit Tare says, how can a spinner take a pause for 1-2 seconds and still deliver the wide ball? I think the wrong Usman played well today. I think both Usmans did all right, and not the first guy to take a pause.
Tariq was fine,
Yeah.
Tariq was really good. Well. I don't know why they waited until the game was over to give him an over, but that's a different conversation.
No, I think he means that how can you still bowl a wide ball when you're pausing? So because you have
because it's actually really hard to pause at the crease and bowl.
Yeah. All right. Next we've got Krishna Yadav. He says, Jared, please explain why in UAE versus Canada game score was tied on 150. He hit the shot that goes for 4. Score was 151. Why it cost me 1 million, I bet, on 152 will become. Why are you sending in a 400 Indian rupee chat if you lost $1 million over there?
No, if you ran a single and then you win the game, the 4 doesn't count, right? I assume that's what he means.
Yeah, if you've crossed, if you cross before the ball goes to the boundary, the 1 counts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the game is over.
That was the Sehwag no ball 6 thing when he was in 99.
Yeah. There's a few of these that have happened before, but I feel your pain, Krishna, and I promise you Rob feels your pain 1,000 times more.
Yeah. Ever since Rob made all that Christmas money off the Ashes test, which went for 5 days, he's been having a bad one. Prithvi says, as soon as the graphic came on saying there was turn of about 2.6 degrees as compared to 1.3 in the previous games, I knew India was winning the match with 150, but Pakistan has proved me wrong by losing 3 wickets to pace. Agreed.
I remember thinking that India might have some issues with the new ball bowling. And Hardik bowls the wicket maiden to start things off. I'm like, okay, of course he does.
Yeah, and Farhan plays the sort of shot that I would play versus Hardik. Yeah.
Yes.
Who's next?
I think if there's anything we've learned today, it's that Bayram might be the best seam bowler and best batter of Pakistan.
Akagra 007 says, after watching Tilak and Rinku bowling, did anyone think that Sky himself coming to bowl and probably imitating Tariq in front of him? I was actually thinking
all I wanted.
I was waiting for
all I wanted.
Yes.
Yeah, it would have been really funny.
Good. Why didn't he? That's a great shout.
A bit like when Alistair Cook came on and bowled like Bob Willis, and when Javed Miandad used to do it, right?
Yeah.
That's what we need. We need some more imitation bowling in major games. Definitely. That's what the kids want.
Definitely.
Yeah, shithousery. Okay. Next super chat is just a super chat. Thank you for your money. Master PPV. Yeah, asks, I meant as far as Kuldeep's run up and release of the ball starting to look a little different. Sorry, should have clarified. Well, Jared?
Yeah, I think he looks a little bit more in rhythm at the moment. I felt pretty comfortable with him over the last couple of weeks. So I think it was the period beforehand where he was struggling. I think he's still clearly working on something.
Yeah. Next one is from Krishna Yadav, and he asks, how can you chase in Primadasa? Australia lost because of the pitch in second innings. It was the same pitch, and what happens to Abrar on so many loose balls?
Yeah.
I do not understand why Abrar doesn't come round the wicket to left-handers for starters, because you clearly open up the arc on the rock back and pull, the slog sweep, all of that stuff when he pitches the ball outside leg stump. It's stupid.
And just on the question, they're not losing because they're chasing, because both of those teams lost because they lost wickets against the second new ball. That was just that they lost the wickets early on. You know, both of those teams, if they had wickets in hand, could have played a very different kind of game.
Yeah. All right. Cookie Spots says, does Pakistan require good minds and staff? Wasim or Rashid? R.A. I don't know who R.A. is. I don't know, man. I think Hassan's a good mind.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong. Hessen isn't the reason they lost today. I think we'd be pretty sure of that.
Yep. Andy B is next, and he's saying if India win, you're supposed to win, and fundamentalists make you cringe by thumping their chests. If you lose, you're national traitors. It's unfortunate. What can I say? Let's move on.
It's a shit position to be in.
Yep. Martin Luther King is back. And he says, so what's next? A full-blown documentary on Farhan hitting Bumrah for a sixth? Haven't we already gotten that? It's time to stop using geopolitics as a spokescreen for bad cricket. I think it's time to stop just bothering
using
with geopolitics
to do with cricket.
Period. End it. But we won't because, Krishna Yadav asks, bad captaincy, Naseem should be there, and why bring your best bowler after 10 overs? Pakistan is not as bad as the management made them look like. It was bad decision making. We've already talked about how Usman Tariq
hasn't Naseem been worse than Shaheen in the last year or so.
Yeah, Naseem's been struggling too.
Salman Mirza's doing all right. The unknown left arm quick. Maybe keep a lookout for him. He's got this one delivery that he pitches on leg stump and it cuts sharply to take top of off. Stock delivery could work on these sort of pitches, definitely. Supratik Mitra, lovely name. Who can challenge India and who has so many lefties? I think South Africa the only team I feel who can challenge India.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's true.
Kolachur asks, the day under 19 Pakistan team didn't go for the win in 33 overs. I concluded they have a big mindset problem than talent. Keeping your mind clear is not simple. This was not a mindset loss, man.
Yeah. Even that one, it's hard to chase in 33 overs.
Also, you first have to be good and then the mindset comes into the picture. You can't have Mamba mentality without being a Mamba.
Yeah, I mean, I have an incredible mentality. I'm just really shit at sport.
Yeah.
The English team will tell you that mentality got them nowhere in the Ashes.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to trigger Rob right now, but let's go on.
It's a fair point. Like, I'll take any of them on at mentality, but you have to be good at cricket to play in the first place.
Yeah. Gagi SD with another super chat says, so much fun with Jared and Rob's sarcasm. Thank you. We are here
What do you mean sarcasm? What are you on about?
No sarcasm. Everything we've said we've met, except for the bits we didn't.
Yep. I think the closure bit that took the piss out of me, that was the only sarcasm. Keiko Death is back. If Tariq or any bowler does not land their front foot while delivering, can they bowl with back foot at the crease?
Depends who's umpiring.
Well, who was it the other day? Rod Tucker didn't like anything that was bowled the other day. Yeah. I don't think you have to land your front foot, do you? Because you can also bowl off the wrong foot. So I don't know. I don't have the laws in front of me an hour and 7 minutes into this podcast.
He was trying to bowl. He was flirting with the back.
Would that be Schrodinger's no ball then?
Schrodinger's no ball.
Ooh. Let's go to the next one. Abhi says, what shampoo do you use, Jared? I'm offended that these questions, which I used to get, are now going to Jared.
$1.99 for that.
Yeah, exactly. I get it in like a 5 litre tub.
I guarantee you can buy Jared shampoo for $1.99.
It's actually true. You go to, Jared's place and the shower has this massive ass shampue.
We've got a lot of kids in our house with lots of hair. So I'm not paying for expensive shampoo, dudes. I'm getting, if I can get a 5 litre bottle of anything in my house, I will take it.
Okay, Sham Nair is up next. Jared, could you elaborate? How does the pause matter? It throws you off.
Yeah, the pause is really hard. Otherwise, everyone would have done it for years. It's quite hard to balance on one leg and then bowl that way. Try it. Most people run in when they bowl. That's because there is a balance to running in that you don't get on standing on one leg.
Try it yourself. I tried it. I couldn't do it. Yeah. Anyway, next super chat is for me by Siva Subramaniam. He says, Behram, if you were Pakistan coach, how to lift this team after this loss and what changes would you make? Shaheen goes out, Babar goes out. I tell them you win the Namibia game. You've got an easier Super 8 group with potentially New Zealand, England and Sri Lanka. Try to win your 2 games out of 3 in that group, and maybe you can play a semi. And Pakistan would do well to go on a run. They can't win this tournament. I won't tell them that. I'll tell them that you can win this tournament. Once you get to the semis, anything can happen. That's what I would say. Hassan Ahmed says Pakistan losing this big to India and Pakistan has a bigger impact than loss to the United States in 2024. Maybe this will change things. No, man.
Nah,
the USA is a
not at all.
way worse loss. What are you saying? No. Losing to a good team and losing to guys who have IT jobs. That's the proper job. And
we said it the other day. We said
side.
on the Jimmy Kimmel show that Kumail Nanjiani went on to talk about the loss to the USA.
Yeah.
I mean, come on now. No one's going on to
that.
talk about the loss to India.
Yeah. I mean, it's the Ireland loss in 2007 and the USA loss in 2024. You'll never forget those, man. Last super chat, after which I'll have to take leave, guys. You guys talk about the rest of the games. Bugcatcher says, speaking of threat level midnight, I wish India would have jumped to the right and shake that hand today after the match. This is an office joke. I hate that show.
What? Don't start.
Rob, you can't get involved. Bayram, you go. We're going to finish off. There's not much to talk about with the other games, but let's just start with you. See you, Bayram. Thank you very much. But he's
and why not have an ad break? You guys are watching Commbox Live now with Jared, Rob, and Varun. I'm leaving. Have a good one, and we'll be back very, very shortly. Go nowhere.
Commbox. The game lives on. All right, welcome back. I think we're all here, or some of us are here. I thought the most interesting thing about the UAE-Namibia game was the fact there was a retired out when Namibia already couldn't lose. So let's just start with that. Why on earth did they send Zane Green in when they needed about 15 runs and over? Zane Green couldn't hit 15 runs and over off me, Rob.
Right,
like, he's just not that kind of player. This
was my favourite thing today by a million miles, because I've been saying for how many years, you've got to start retiring people out more. You've got to do it. People don't do it enough, blah, blah, blah. This is the worst one I've seen, and that is saying something. I've seen some terrible ones. I've seen some terrible ones this year. But this one, right, I just don't get it, because you cannot send. I think they needed, I don't know, 70 off 35, or no, 70 off 25 or something.
24.
And Trumpleman had a shocker in the last game. I thought that he had a reasonable chance of getting some runs, and he batted terribly. I've seen him bat really well against good teams in ODIs and stuff. But anyway, we've spoken about Zane Green a lot, and he basically gets 10 off 12 every innings ever. And he's done it consistently over a long sample size. He always gets 10 off 12. So when you do need, let's just see how many they needed. The
wicket was at the 14.4 over mark.
Right, they needed 77 from 32.
You cannot send Zane Green out.
Okay, so
Scotland did this with Scotland did this with Matthew Cross as well. Exactly the same thing. It's like, why are you sending these guys out? They can't do this.
So there's your first mistake, right? So that can't happen. That bit can't happen. So they send Green in, and they basically say, we can't win now. So they can't win. Then Green comes in, who is always 10 off 12. Always, always, always. The ball before they retire him out, he does a lap for 4. Right?
It was a beautiful shot.
He's 400 off the last ball that he faced. Right? He does a really good over short third lap for 4, and then he started walking off, and I was like, no, they can't be. They need 51 from 12. They need 51 from 12, and they decide that. So he was, what was he? 18 off 13 when they retired him out. That's his best for quite some time, 18 off 13. He is cooking at 18 off 13. Then they go, well, actually, we need 51 from 12 here. Maybe you're not the guy. So they how is that going to help him long term? That's such a shit decision. And by the time
18 off 13, Zane Green has a nosebleed. He is so uncomfortable with that strike rate.
There was 5 balls left by the time Trumpleman faced his first ball. Yeah. And he needed to score 37.
It was ridiculous. He only faces 3 balls as well, Trumpleman. But I saw this earlier in the tournament with Scotland. Scotland did the exact same thing where they sent in Cross and then Mark Watt, while Michael Leask is sitting there. And you're like, look, I get it. Michael Leask is very hit and miss, a bit like Trumpleman. You don't know what's going to happen. But what we do know is that Michael Leask is going to try and hit 6s. That is what he is going to do. And at this stage, I think it was against West Indies in that game, wasn't it? You need 6s. So let's send the guy in who's going to hit some 6s. That was baffling. Is there anything else from this game that you were interested in?
Thought, well, I did watch all of them. I thought Irie played really well in the other one. In the USA game, I thought it was a pretty poor game, mainly because Namibia fielded terribly. They had an easy drop of Monank in the first over.
And
really
he
easy.
smashed him after that too,
and then he got 50 off 28 or something. So that was critical. And then with about 3 overs to go, who was whacking it everywhere?
It was Krishnamurti, wasn't it? They dropped him again.
Krishnanjay, right? So he hit one to Erasmus in the deep, who caught it really well, then did the rollover, and the ball did not jump out of his hand because he hit his elbow on the turf. He'd already completed the roll, and then he just inexplicably dropped it. So he did a proper catch,
caught the catch,
proper roll, and then dropped it on the floor, and then claimed it, which is really bad. But that cost them 20. And
but that kind of shithousery from Erasmus, the kind of bowler he is, I'm all for it. So
his bowling is very, very fun. But that was so. Sometimes, like, I go on about how shit everybody is at fielding, but sometimes you get mega punished if you're really bad at fielding. And today, Namibia, it cost them. So after that drop, so Krishnamurthy was on 32, 33 when he dropped him. The next ball he faced was 4. The next ball he faced was 6. The next ball he faced was 7. The next ball he faced was 6. So pretty expensive, that drop. They just absolutely murdered them after that, and that was the end of the game. So 2 huge drops by the guys that got all the runs, and they got punished, and they were never going to chase it.
Yeah, I mean, that was the problem with Namibia. I lost interest in that game because I was like, there's just no way they are ever going to be able to chase this kind of score. They're just not that kind of a team. They don't have that power, and they've changed their batting a little bit so that Freilich goes hard at the top and he gives them a boost, but the batting just gets slower and slower the longer their innings goes out. And as we said, Trumpelman has to be the hitter for them because they don't have anyone else. Nepal versus the West Indies. Nepal made 133 for 8 in that game. Airy made 58 of 47, which might be the slowest strike rate he's ever made of 50 in his entire life. Jason Holder takes another 4 wickets. What's the ICC have him as threat level less than midnight, threat level noon?
He's threat level midnight, that guy. But basically, they were never in it at all, Nepal. They were like 46 for 5, I think, after 11. So to get 133 is really, really good. That's the reason why everybody keeps laying the West Indies. West Indies are still 20-1 to win this World Cup now. And they've qualified and they've won every game and they've stuffed England and they're 20-1 because they cannot bowl at the death. They don't know what to do. So I don't know what to suggest for them because none of the bowlers that they put on the park can bowl at the death. It's always Holder. He always gets belted. So what do you do?
Well, the thing with Holder is he goes at about 3 runs and over at the death, but he can get like 3 wickets and over at the same time. So if he does that, you just need one good death bowler at the other end. And Matthew Ford is not that man. Shamar Joseph is not that man. Akil Hassan can occasionally be that player, but not against the
runs. Not against
not against the wrong kind of matchups. He's just going to get mashed. Probably good for the West Indies in this game, though, that Shai Hope and Shimron Hetmeyer got some time at the crease because Shai Hope hasn't faced a ball yet in this tournament. That's my understanding.
Hope found it very, very easy. Hetmeyer is, I think Mash said today that, teams are finally realizing that he's a better batsman than somebody that is just meant to slog 8 balls. He's actually really good at batting, Hetmeyer, and telling them that he's a 3 now. He's batting beautifully the last couple of months since the West Indies have given him the responsibility. He has properly taken it. So if they can do a bit more with the openers, Brandon King hasn't convinced me yet. But Hetmeyer is in proper gun form. His run coming into this tournament, just looking at it now, against South Africa, 48, 75, 48 not out. This comp, 64, 23, 46 not out. He's motoring. He's a proper player and he doesn't muck about.
I've got a feeling that when he made his big breakthrough season, I might have even been working the CPL that year, but he was batting at first drop. I'm pretty sure he was. And Puran was one who was down the order. And Puran has slowly come up the order, whereas weirdly, Hetmeyer hasn't. And I think part of it has been IPL role definition. They're just like, you need to do this role. And it's like, well, he's really good at spin. Doesn't it make sense to get him in earlier rather than later? Anyway,
that's Rajasthan going, we're only having one overseas bat and we're not having any depth at all. So you have to do it every time. You must be the finisher. And that's kind of, I don't know, wasting him a bit, isn't it?
We've got some super chats to finish off. Akshu says the comms mentioned a few times that pace. Have we done that one? Akshu didn't say that. Oh no, he's got one. Here's one. Abe says for you, Shaheen didn't win top out at 74-1.
100-1 today. 100-1 he was. I did back it. He had a chance. If they'd have taken Usman when they dropped him, he would have only needed to belt, I don't know, Tilak.
4 6s?
Yeah. Decent 100 to 1 shot he is, by the way, Shaheen, whenever he plays.
Who's your best? Because you've gone Trumpelman a few times for top batter.
Yeah,
haven't you?
yeah, he's been quite a lot. So the Trumpelman theory for backing him top bat is you want to back him in World Cups when they're playing against the good teams, because quite often the good team blows away the first 3 or 4. I think Trumpelman's probably their second best hitter. So if he comes in when they're 4 down, 5 down for not many, him needing 25 against a good team, because then he often gets particularly ODIs when he's done it, right? So you get murdered by Bumrah, and then Chak and Kuldeep or whoever kill the middle order, and then he gets the Tilak and Rinku balls, right? So there's a theory behind him at 50s or whatever.
No, that makes sense. Last one is from Shrest, who says, feels like no more upsets from fixtures. I mean, there's always a chance of an upset from here on in. I'd be shocked if we had no more upsets. I wonder if it just means this round. But even so, I think there's more than a chance of an upset.
You can easily make a case for upsets, depending on your definition of upset. I mean, if you think about who's beaten who and by how many, Italy are certainties to beat England, considering Nepal should have beat England. And
well, if England beat Italy, is that the upset then?
Well, it would upset me if England beat Italy. I want them to lose.
We just got a couple of four. Aravind says, big fan of your work, your videos on Steve Smith versus Sachin, who's the best? And the one about Harmanpreet are my favourites. Thank you very much. Thank you for all your support. We're here every day. Not me personally, although sometimes I'm here every day. And Crit says, I feel Pakistan is under way more pressure than India, hence why they're taking some dumb decisions. Me and Rob have already agreed with that, but I will also say I've watched Pakistan play not against India, and you're going to be shocked to know they also make dumb decisions.
It's true. I mean, most of the teams make dumb decisions, but when you're the best by miles.
If you want to see, me and Rob will do a watch along one day, and you'll see that there is no team that we do not believe that does not make dumb decisions. I think you'll find that 100%. That is Rob Barron. You can find him everywhere on the internet under Monsieur Le Judge. Also,
I don't know. Yeah, I can't remember, something like that. Monsieur Judge.
Mature Judge, something like that anyway. I'm Garrett Kimber. I'll be around as well. There'll be a main video up on the channel, and me and Rob will pop in for another live very, very soon as well. But thank you to everyone. Go to Commbox.tv. You can join our wait list as we're building something quite special. But at the moment, it's just Jared and Rob. And we say goodbye. Cricket has never finished at the close of play. It lives in the arguments, the memories, the comment sections. Cricket makes you talk. Commbox is entering that chat.